Oh, Friday.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
It is a Friday. Hot
Diggity dog.
No, hot diggity damn. That's what it is.
Tomatoes.
Something like that, I guess you could say. I don't know.
Dude, you know what? Well, welcome everybody in.
Yes.
Jamie usually does it. I'll do it tonight. We'll mix it up. Mix and match. Out of rhythm. Gloves off Friday edition, motherfuckers. You know what time it is. Look what we got here. Look at this.
Not sponsored.
Yeah. We're not that big yet. Eventually.
It's more likely just a casual drink, really. If you put it that way.
It is. Oh, but these are damn good. I know our friend Buddy, he loves these too. The blackberry lemonade, Old Smoky. These are fucking the shit.
Yeah, they are great. I can't remember the other one I had, but they're
Mountain Rita.
Yes,
that's another really good one.
Yep.
I haven't tried the apple. I think it's apple pie. I think is the other one. Sounds good.
Yeah, it'd be very totally interesting for sure, man. No.
Oh man, I know I got a liquor shirt on. They're gonna think I'm a damn drunk here. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh man. Well, some people might think that when Vince McMahon owned the XFL that he was drunk too and he was asleep at the wheel. But now they're under the ownership of our man Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Jamie, they're back at XFL 3.0.
3.0, is it gonna be a 4.0, a 5.0?
Right.
Is it gonna be a 10.0 next? It's like, what the fuck, guys?
Some goofy shit, but I mean, The Rock, I mean, he is the guy's successful in almost everything except his tequila. It's not very good. But no, I mean, I almost think that The Rock is gonna will it to be successful. And there's a couple guys I know they've had some busts. They had like the last version they had. Remember Landry Jones from the Steelers? He was the back. Big Ben had like probably 20 backups when he was there, but he was one of the backups. He played in a few games.
Yeah.
Matt McGloin, I think he was with the Raiders at one point. But yeah, so they had a few name brand guys that they brought in and just didn't pan out, but. So you were telling me off air that the AB might be sided with the XFL.
Yeah, the AB wants to try to be part of the XFL, have a team or whatever, something like that. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, AB. I'm like, come on now, that's getting a little redonkulous.
At this, no shit. I mean, he could still play. I mean, obviously. Before he pulled that shit against the Jets last year, I mean, AB was actually having. A pretty damn good season.
So Brown wants to actually he wants to own a XFL.
Oh, so he doesn't want to play. He wants to own it.
He wants to own an XFL team.
How about he plays and owns a team? I'd be all in on that. Get AB's craziness on the field in the wearing a suit.
Him wearing a suit.
And coach of the team. Let's have AB doing everything, man.
Nah, he wants pretty much. He put a post out. It must have been Twitter. It was like, squad up, join my squad, the XFL Boomers. And he's like, we're looking to join the XFL in 2023 and pay double the rate of 120K. I'm like, okay, AB, like you have 120K to just toss away for a football team? Come on now. They're ridiculous. It's like, so other than that, it's just like, dude, you're dumb as fuck, dude. I know supposedly he stole some jewelry and like over like like that was worth like 150K or some bullshit like that.
I fucking clown.
Yeah, it was. This was like overseas or some bullshit. Like, oh my, it's like, dude, this guy's.
You imagine that some French jewelry store. some fucking you just see this this scary looking black guy in a trench coat. And he's just throwing jewelry in. What are you doing, sir?
Yeah, but no, it's crazy, and then all this, Tom Brady and him and his ordeal and whatnot, so that with then Brady being, I don't know, Brady with or AB putting shit out there with his wife or some bullshit. I don't know.
So AB's gonna be banging Giselle. He's gonna be separated. AB's gonna be bang. Yeah, you'd be everywhere. You'd be the XFL. You'd be banging Tom Brady's old ex-wife. He's gonna be.
Well, Zach Wilson really wants to.
Zach Wilson wants a piece of that too. So that's something I would watch, man. You get you get a love triangle between Tom Brady, Zach Wilson, and AB.
You know, it was really funny in our Discord channel. I posted something about that Zach. He's like, "Hey, I'll help you out. All right, I'll move on in." And one of the guys in the Discord are like, "No, that's their son." I'm like, their son. I'm like, there's no way that Brady has a son that old already and playing in football. He'd like, dude, he'd be like 60 some odd years old. And it was a total joke, and I didn't get it. And I'm like, I'm gonna do a little research here. I'm like, dude, you got me pretty damn good. And I'm like, it was kind of funny as hell. I'm like, yeah. But overall, I don't know. I guess I'm kind of excited with the XFL a little bit, just to kind of see what happens. I mean, I tuned in before all the COVID stuff happened. You know, I was all kind of tuned in with that a little bit. It was actually pretty fun at the time, and then they shut it all down and went broke. And I think it would have been a good success if they actually a couple of years ago were actually playing. They probably would have been for spring football. You know what I mean? It would have been. I was actually watching I think it was the AFF that was with the Orlando.
Yeah.
It was one of those.
That's the one Johnny Manziel was in. Yeah. That was Johnny Football, and then he got benched or something on an AAF team. That's one thing I remember about that league is they played like 8 games and they folded a couple years ago.
Well, they
I don't know, dude. There's been so many
they didn't
indoor
fold.
football leagues. AAF.
Yeah, they didn't. Well, they didn't really fold. It was because of all the COVID stuff, and then people weren't there, so they ended up giving like that Orlando team the championship because they had the better team at that time, and they actually at the time when I was on my breaks and stuff like that, they would air the highlights and stuff like that. So I was like, they actually had good like unique uniforms and stuff like that. I was actually into them because they had like the San Diego, they had a nice battleship or whatever for their helmets and shit like that. Their logo or whatever it was, and they were it was badass. I'm like, dude, it's sweet. And all that COVID stuff just ruined everything. They probably would have got off the ground a little bit because they were actually excited because they had an San Antonio team too at that time too. So it was kind of crazy.
They're called the Brahmas now.
Well, no, this was actually
before the 2.0 or whatever the hell.
No, I'm talking about a whole different league.
Was it AAF? I thought you were talking about the XFL.
No, this is I think it was AAF.
NAACP. I don't know, dude. There's been so many startup fucking league. It's hard to keep track, but I think with this XFL, man, I think that's my favorite name though. The San Antonio Brahmas. It reminds me of, remember The Rock? He had the Brahma Bull.
Well, you know who their coach is, right?
Was it Hines Ward?
Yeah, Hines Ward.
Hines Ward's
you know Rod Woodson actually has he's coaching one of the teams too.
Yeah, Rod. And remember your boy Wade Phillips from Dallas? Yeah, Wade Phillips is coaching.
Yeah, he's coaching the
Houston Renegades.
Yep. So it's like there was a couple other guys I didn't really recognize, but maybe
Bob Stoops used to be at OU. Just a few. I think Reggie Barlow was a player. I think it was the Colts or the Jags. I think back in the day. But yeah, there are a lot of former players. Anthony Becht was a tight end for the Jets. So yeah, it's I don't know. 18. That's a good startup. You know what I mean? And then if the league were to grow in 20 years, if it's still around, if it's not XFL 0.7 by then or whatever 7.0. Then you can add more teams as they go because there's a lot of different markets. There's a lot of shit. I had a team in Sioux Falls, man. Sioux Falls is growing. They get a team in I guess they got the Arlington Renegades.
Yeah,
Dallas Renegades.
Yeah, well, they were the Dallas Renegades.
Oh, it's Houston Roughnecks. Sorry, I thought it was the Renegades.
Oh yeah, the Renegades. Phillips, so. Yeah, the Renegades. They had I'm trying to think here. They changed them to the Arlington Renegades now. So they kind of changed their names up from before. But there was actually
they want to be confused with the Cowboys.
I was actually going to look here, and because there's actually going to be some notable guys that were going to be in there.
Aren't they having a draft a couple weeks from now, Wednesday the 16th?
Yep.
Yeah. You think there's a couple potential guys that I heard a rumor. Josh Rosen, remember the old he's been on so many teams: Cardinals, Bucks, 49ers, Dolphins.
Oh, maybe
he's on I think he's on the Browns practice squad right now. I don't know. It might be a good way to resurrect. I mean, he's good enough to be drafted in the first round. So a lot of these guys that want to keep playing football, that aren't going to be like in the, like a color analyst for a network or something.
Yeah,
I mean,
like Marquise King, he was a kicker I think he was one of the kickers for the Raiders.
Raiders, yeah,
yep. So I mean, there's going to be some notable guys that were actually in the NFL that we're gonna, there's going to be guys that's going to be there, trying out and maybe even making the team and whatnot. Because I was kind of keeping up to date with some of that stuff that were people that might try out for this league. And it's that's where a lot of that's where PJ Walker came from, because he was a redneck.
Yeah,
and he
redneck. Yeah, we're rednecks.
So I mean, he played damn well when they were one of the better teams at that time too. And for him to just for that league to fold up that quick, and they people were like, damn dude, we got to get him on one of our teams. So and now he's starting for the pick, for the freaking Panthers.
He's actually, I mean, in the starts he's made, he's actually been like a top 20 fantasy quarterback PPR. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's not the death nail. Like if I was undrafted, but some college stud from a smaller, maybe like SDSU, our home state school. I mean, they're 8-1 right now. They probably have a couple guys that are good enough to be in the XFL.
Yeah, I mean that's
and then you can eventually work your way up.
The XFL is actually a pretty good. I think it's almost like it's almost like having it for scouts. It's like, hey, it's almost like having potential people that you can actually not enter the draft, but they can come in and get a shot with an NFL actual team or whatever. So I mean, it's kind of like one of those things where you can actually get a opportunity to display yourself. If you didn't have an opportunity in a different time,
Yeah. Especially smaller school guys that aren't getting on ESPN and CBS every week.
Yeah, most definitely. And you see some smaller teams on some smaller networks and stuff like that, but it's, or even like some of them are like on
local stations and
that, or like the Pac-12, or they're on super late at night you don't see a lot of them now. I mean, there's been a lot of games throughout the week here because they're talking about playoffs and stuff like that here down. Playoffs are be around the corner here pretty soon too. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of that going on too. I don't know, I'm kind of excited to kind of see. I'm actually waiting to kind of see some of the unis, because I'm always a uni guy. I always like kind of seeing their designs and stuff like that.
I love some of the graphics he comes up with, like some of the logos. But the one that I was digging was the Roughnecks. It reminds me of the old Houston Oilers. Remember back in the day, their little oil drill, oil.
Yeah, they
A-shaped thing.
They refined it a little bit different. They refined it, which I like a little bit more. I like it a little bit more.
It's more modern.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
But that's my favorite of all the logos. I like that, and I love the because I'm a fan of the Seattle Kraken. Yeah, I love the Seattle logo. It's got that kind of actually Kraken sea beast kind of thing.
The newer one is kind of shitty. I actually like the older one better.
The Seattle team?
Yep.
The XFL?
Yeah. There's two. I actually like the older logo a little bit better than the newer one. The newer one is kind of boring. The older one actually
to piss you off. I think I'm gonna get a tattoo of the dragon. I'm just gonna fucking throw right there, fucker.
Right in the armpit.
Yeah.
Hey, dude, do you want to smell my ass? Because you smell. But no, we're actually, instead of doing some like league stuff like we normally do, we're actually we're gonna get back.
We're gonna talk about what we want to talk about.
Yeah, we're gonna get back to some of our original like roots a little bit, where we actually kind of started just talking shit, just random shit, and just like, hey, this and that. I mean, just some different stuff. But I mean, we're gonna fine tune this episode. Like, we'll fine tune our Fridays a little bit different. But I mean, it's gonna be a lot of sports talk. I mean, we'll be talking. We'll probably end up talking some other different stuff too. But a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Who knows? Next thing you know, we might be having our own porn station.
Yeah.
So who knows?
we always talked about having a fuck fest, but It would have to be a solo. He's married, so it would have to be a solo effort here. I'd just be popping Viagra. I'd just be like going down. That couch would get worse. I'd be wearing a different. I don't know if you can see any of these trucker hats here. He's thinking.
Well, thanks for actually tuning in and actually.
Yeah, listening. Man. Once we get some listeners, once we get some feedback as to some of the topics, yeah, I think we'll kind of get more of a basis for the structure for the episode. Right now, it's like whatever comes to my mind, you know.
Yeah. Well, most definitely. I know we've been kind of well, shit. The funny thing is we've been friends for 16, 15 years. I don't know how long we've been friends for, but I mean, it's just one of those things that we're so sports in tune that we can just pretty much bounce off each other, and which makes for great content for even what we're doing now. Because I mean, us being solo, probably not so great, but it's just one of those things that we work good.
When we fix stuff, our brains just it's like PB&J. It's like
pretty much it is. I mean, if you want to,
we fix stuff. We talk sports. We construct a DFS, like anything. We always work better together. Yeah, we always work better together.
And we're sports people. I don't know. Some goner. You know, hey, I mean, if you're into fantasy sports, hey, man, we're if you have any questions, let us know. We have a Discord channel too that's very helpful. There's quite a bit of stuff in there to trade talks, random talks, dynasty, fantasy points. You know, I'm trying to think of salary cap leagues. I mean, so we got a lot of variety of different things in there. There's some NBA stuff. I'm not sure what else there is, but yeah, there's quite a bit of other stuff in there too.
When I first heard rotisserie, I thought it was chicken. I was like,
right?
What the fuck is this rotisserie stuff?
Yeah, for sure.
Cam quality is going to be cam quality is going to be a hindrance. Also, chat is pretty delayed.
It's one of those things. Yeah, I actually should have like my tower actually plugged into a jack, which probably would be a little bit better. But yeah, there's some things that we're kind of working on yet. Bear with us. It's things we're gonna be working on, or things we'll be working on down the road, or things we will be working on down the road. But it's just one of those things. I know we'd rather have 2 microphones and stuff like that. It's just some of the things that we do have is in a work in progress. You know?
Yeah, and there's always the option to go naked. which I'm not opposed to. So
yeah, I think that would get our channel totally banned.
Yeah,
we'd be like, yeah, you guys are banned for YouTube for life, and we might be seeing jail time for that. Well, you probably would. Yeah,
right. But no, we're flag this motherfucker. Right
yeah, he's done. He's done, son. Get out of here. But yeah, I said, I'm not sure.
Up there, the sirens are coming to get me.
Yeah, god damn it, this guy is a fucking troublemaker. I tell you.
I can be. Well,
speaking of that, you might as well start doing that, you nasty man.
I think we're all right.
We got a little sidetrack.
We got a little sidetrack there.
We got some weird. We got some weird guys commenting.
So, yeah, it's okay. I know I have ADD. I might be on the spectrum too. I don't know. But so we're gonna talk about a little football too. We have some headlines on the scroll. If you haven't seen that, it's better than any shit you'll see on FS1 or fucking ESPN. So we got the cam issues right now, but look at that. Look at that. That's
side to side. Well,
side to side.
Well, I guess it works out, man. It is.
It's great. So this shouldn't come as a shock to you or anybody that owns Keenan Allen, but that fucker, he had a setback this week. Looks like he's going to be out again. Mike Williams on IR. So in a situation, Jamie, where you've only got one spot, do you take – because I think depending on the league size, I know 10-man, you can get both of them. 12-man, Josh Palmer might be on the lineup already. I know DeAndre.
Probably Carter too, probably.
Okay, gun to your head. Do you start – if both are available to you, do you start DeAndre Carter or do you start Josh Palmer?
Oof.
So the Discord link is invalid?
Let me double that. I don't know. Let me I'll check on that. I'll post Discord in our. It should work. I mean, if you'll
just have a bunch of thirsty gays on here.
No, if okay, hold on. Let's get back to the question here quick. I'll answer your Discord here in a second. I think they'll be starting both of them. I think Carter. I guess it depends on game plan too, because both guys are actually capable of actually putting up some fantasy points. Just because, with both Mike Williams and Keenan Allen being out, I think it's going to be one or the other. I would believe, because Carter could be it, or Palmer could be it. I think a lot of them were talking about Palmer this week, maybe being one of the guys possibly.
Well, he came off the concussion protocol, and he was their number. He was ahead of DeAndre on the depth chart all season. So definitely, for me personally, I'd go with Josh Palmer. And if I get my hands on him, I would start. I think I might be starting him in one of our leagues, honestly.
I picked
thinking the 12-man we do with my brother. I think I'm starting him.
Yeah, I think I picked up one. I know I picked up one of those guys too. I picked up one of them. I can't remember which guy it was that I picked up, but I know I picked up one of them. I think it was Carter. I think whoever was on the waiver wire at that time. I think it was Carter at that time. I picked him up. Yeah, I'm trying to think who else here now.
We'll get that. We got to get that leg fixed.
Yep.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, good sir.
I know that link should be valid unless it's something wrong with your side. I know the Discord, the link should be valid. I post a link in when we upload for podcasts and stuff like that. I know I put the link in our description and stuff like that, so it should work, I would believe.
That's
I guess
that's news to us.
Yeah, I guess it depends on.
I think it's valid. The one in your bio isn't. Well, we'll have to fix that.
Yes,
and we will.
Yep,
we will. But we got to get through this.
Oh, well, he's on Twitch, so maybe something with the Twitch side. Yeah, I know the Twitch is a little off. I know we streamed this to Twitch and Facebook at the time. Now we're just kind of got the YouTube in there too. So maybe something in there is not right too. One of those two things. That's very possible. Sometimes that stuff gets all weird. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. And we'll address that for sure. When we get done here. Let's bang this episode out. Yeah. And bang this can out too. John Taylor.
We're not drunk because I have to work tonight.
Yeah, so and I he has to work. I have to work out. So we're we keep
But cheers.
We keep it 9% alcohol. But no, it's so John Taylor held out of practice. And so Swift too. These guys have been on and off all season. They've been hurt. I think there's something wrong with Jonathan Taylor because you don't fall off that much in a year. He went from being like a top 2-3 back, if not the top running back. A lot of these. He's not even a top 15 back this year.
No, he's not. He's not even top 10. And I had
any category: touchdowns, rushing yards, attempt, nothing. He's not even getting on the receiving end either.
Hey, thank you, appreciate it. We don't really care what you think, so fuck you.
And low expectations. Sounds like you're saying.
That's why it's called gloves off, because we don't really care.
That's right.
If we get views or not views, it doesn't really matter to us, really. We're just out there, just speaking our own mind. But yeah, hey, appreciate the comments. So if you want to diss us, I don't really care. It's your opinion, our opinion. That's how the world works, right? I guess. I don't know. One of those two things.
Who knows? No. So we. What was I saying? Well, you're welcome to come on. You're welcome to come on with us, as we offer that to anybody. You want to? We'll open up. See, we got in our little thing here. We got an open spot for a third cam, so we can stick you right up here. You're right in the fucking. I don't know what the fuck it is. Yeah, it'll.
We're. You want to voice your opinion? Sure, you can air your own opinions
come right out. Yeah, come in the octagon.
But no, yeah.
Do we move off him at the Swift too? Like I would assume Jamal Williams is going to be getting the looks this week. But Jonathan Taylor, does he have any trade value left? Because especially if you're not in a dynasty or a keeper league.
Yeah,
like,
I'd
be frustrated as fuck with this guy.
Yeah, if you have to get off, I'm sure there's going to be other guys out there that want Taylor that even though he might maybe this second half, maybe he becomes a little bit better. But as far as right now, I wouldn't want anything to do with Taylor just because there's a lot of other better. Look at or Pierce from the Texans. He's the top 4 rusher right now, and Taylor's not even that. This guy's a rookie, and it's just kind of like I personally wouldn't try to trade for Taylor myself.
It's like, well, how much value does he have? I mean, do you kind of wait out the season where he's hurt? He plays 2 games, he's hurt.
Yeah, if
he plays 2 more, he's hurt.
Yeah, so I guess if you're in Dynasty, you're stuck with him. Keepers, I guess a keeper league, I guess it really honestly depends on what you want to do with him next year. And I guess it comes down to how badly is he injured. It's one of those things you want to kind of wait and see with, I mean, it's just like a couple of those things with Michael Thomas. He was out for 2 years. Now it's like, shit, dude.
He did. When those first 3 games of the season when he was playing, he looked like the old Michael Thomas, and then
now he was, so now he's pretty much damaged goods.
He's damaged goods.
So it's just like there's no way you're gonna.
He's like 80% of the women on Tinder. He's damaged goods. Okay.
I don't know. I mean, now even with Bateman too, it's kind of one of those same things because Bateman, he was gonna hopefully maybe try to take a step. And now he's out for the whole season, so now you're stuck with Duvernay, a couple other. I think was it Robinson.
Yeah.
And then
I actually picked him, Demarcus Robinson. I picked him up in a 16-man.
I was thinking about picking him up in some other different leagues too, but I was kind of waiting to see. Right now, my dilemma is Chase Claypool was out in a league. I picked him up, so now I have that.
Somebody dropped him. What size?
This was a 12-man league. So, yeah, so I have the dilemma. So I had my kicker on bye. Dallas is on bye. So I'm like, screw this. So I dropped my kicker, picked up Claypool. So now I have to figure out who to drop. I have Sutton.
No.
It's either drop Sutton or drop Curtis Samuel. But I'm like, Curtis Samuel is actually doing a lot better than freaking Sutton point wise.
That's hard. Can you ship Sutton out to somebody that still thinks he has value?
I had a trade offer with Michael Thomas and some other running back, and I'm like, since I heard,
are we at the point now, Jamie, where people are even thinking about fucking dropping Cortland Sutton? Like is he that bad in this new Denver offense that it's like we're at that point? It's like you got to move off these guys quick. I mean, Keenan Allen, the same thing. It's like, is the fucker going to play again this year? It's
it is. It's, I don't know. I mean, I'm skeptical
because he's outperformed him.
He has.
Curtis Samuel, he looked, since he came back from that, being out all last year, he came back and I mean, he's been the Commanders' number 2 receiver solidly, like behind McLaurin, like. And
then that's why I'm like, God, that's why I'm kind of like. God damn. Let me take another drink of this.
Yeah. Just for you fuck. Yeah. He ain't watched anymore, but he's a fuckboy.
There's a song out there. It's kind of.
We should put that. Yeah, I should get that up on fucking YouTube. Fuckboy.
It's. So I'm kind of having a hard decision with either dropping that guy or. I mean, I tried trading somebody. Or even try having somebody see if they want Sutton, try to get off Sutton, so I can maybe try to keep Samuel. But I mean, I have McLaurin too. That's the other bad thing. So I have McLaurin too.
So you're doubling up.
Yeah. So I mean, I have doubled up on McLaurin, and I have freaking.
Well, then I look pretty smart picking up in 16-man. I look pretty smart picking up Heineke as my backup. Then I don't know who the hell dropped. It was that stupid shit. I know we wouldn't talk league, but I'm talking league. You fucking that damn Sharknadoes. That damn shark, no wonder they're gonna miss the play. I don't wonder they're gonna miss the goddamn playoffs.
Yeah, I think
Heineke's gonna start going off, man.
Well, because I got, especially if you're in a 2 quarterback league.
Yeah,
I mean,
hell yeah.
Fields might be going up a little bit, and then you got Heineke. Kind of, Heineke was always kind of that, not the greatest, but he's a baller. I mean, he's kind of like that.
The perfect backup, perfect second quarterback in a quarterback league. I don't want him. He's not fucking Josh Allen, Lamar. He's not that guy, but.
He's a kid who's got spunk to him.
He does.
He's like a Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, in that level. He's not like Favre had that same, but Favre was like a Hall of Famer. Yeah, Ryan Fitzpatrick is a great comp.
Yeah,
This reminds me a lot of him.
that I mean, he's kind of got that
Scrappy. Yeah.
He's kind of got that farb to him a little bit, but he's not, he's not one of those, Hall of Famer like. But his playing style is between Fitzpatrick and Favre in my eyes.
I would agree.
So I mean, I know I picked him up in a couple leagues, especially if the person's in a 2-quarterback league. Heineke is a good play. I mean, PJ Walker, he's a good play. Especially in those
he's really impressed me. I wouldn't have said that a couple weeks ago. PJ Walker really stepped it up, man. Like they're that offense. I mean, that Carolina team. I mean, they're still 2-6, but they're a competitive 2-6 now.
Yeah, they are too. And I especially in super flex teams. I was having issues with a lot of quarterbacks. I had Teddy, and then I had freaking Trey Lance, and I ended up having Trubisky. And then I ended up getting PJ Walker, and then Tua came back. So that helped me out quite a bit. So I actually kind of rebounded a little bit last week or so. Actually, now I'm like 3-5 or some shit like that. Dude, my teams are all over the freaking place. I think 3 or 4 teams are 3-5. A couple have one like 7-1. And, so my teams are like all over. I have it written down somewhere. I don't know where the heck I did it, but.
He's got the book here. He's got the list.
Yeah, no. So pretty much I have 3 3-5 teams, 5 4-4, 1 like 7-1, 1 6-2, and then I got 1 like 5-3 teams.
Yeah, so I mean,
it depends on how many leagues you're in. I mean, it all varies too, because I mean, some people are, I guess. Let's put it this way. I'm one of those guys that likes to dip my hand in the water a little bit, experience different stuff.
So get your poker in a bunch of different fires.
Yeah, pretty much. So because then you can kind of evaluate, like, well, maybe I want to do this next year, and then it gives you a better idea of where your mindset is. Where it's like, hey, maybe I'll play this, and it kind of gives you a different valuation of different players. And I drafted a bunch of different players too this year too. So I mean, I'm in a whole like 20-man football league that's just all out.
That's got to be brutal. Like like I said, I'm down for that next year just to try it out. Like I'll be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of 16-man so far, but it is challenge. It is a different kind of challenge. 20-man will be. I mean, that's on like that on steroids. I mean, there's got to be like, you got to be pumped to get a guy like Heineke. Like, oh fuck, he's available.
Well, yeah, I mean,
you take it for granted in 12-man because you can get a Jared Goff. I mean, you can get before he got benched, Matt Ryan. You can get a guy like that, but in 20-man, you got to be like, PJ Walker, okay, you got to like pounce on these fucking guys.
Yeah, it was just it was like that Foreman. I pounced on him. I picked him up like
that was genius. He's been fucking
yeah. So I snagged him like right away, and especially because the bad thing about it is. I missed that draft. I was actually sleeping when that draft happened. I'm like,
we both missed drafts this year.
So when I looked at it, I'm like, oh shit, dude. So I mean, I had a couple. All right, I had like Najee, and I ended up somehow. I think I ended up with Herbert or something like that. Not maybe Herbert. I can't remember exactly, but I ended up with a few guys that I'm like, damn, dude. Like I wouldn't have drafted some of these guys. I probably wouldn't have drafted. So now I thankfully of the waiver wire and the way things happen, the way this league happened. Especially it's there's no waivers. It's pretty much a free for all. So anytime a news happens, like that's why when I heard the whole CMC got traded, I went and picked up Foreman right away. No questions asked. I went and picked him up right away.
And he did. See, you did the opposite. I picked up Chubba Hubba Hubba.
Yeah.
And I mean the first week they were getting comparable. Foreman was getting a little more carries, but Chubba Hubba, he was getting the receiving more out of the backfield with receptions, and so I thought they were going to be about comp when you combine the two. But Hubbard went down, and he might play this week. So, but I would still be under the assumption that Foreman is going to get 20-25 carry. He's going to be the workhorse.
Yeah, Foreman will be the workhorse this week for sure. So I mean, I would be starting Foreman. I'm trying to think of some other. If Taylor doesn't play,
Deion Jackson.
Deion Jackson.
Some dipshit dropped him and said, "What did you say all like last year?" And I don't know if Chubba Hubba Hubba. I don't know if he was a rookie. I don't know if it was last year or 2020, but I know
Hubbard was a rookie last year.
Okay,
yeah.
so you were hip on that. You're like, if you have him, keep him on your fucking bench all year because McCaffrey and what did McCaffrey do? Got hurt, right?
Yeah, and then you don't have to run to the waiver wire.
So if you've got a spot for Deion Jackson, I would hold on to him for the rest of the fucking year because he was highly productive in the couple games he was in when Taylor was out. And I think it's gonna be the same thing.
Yeah, I didn't see what Sam did this weekend, but Sam put up what 300.
LA, no, like 176.
Oh, I thought he put up.
No, it was very blah. That's why I dropped him and went and got Heineke because I wasn't impressed.
Heineke is way better
is.
over. But it might take Sam a couple of games.
We'll see. We'll see. Maybe I'll change my mind 3-4 weeks. Yeah. But to me, it's going to be a run. If the Colts are going to do anything, it's going to be in the running game.
Yeah.
And if Jonathan Taylor and you can mark it down now, it's not for sure thing, but he's out. If you're going to bench your quarterback that you just traded and paid some money for, Matt Ryan, that you thought was going to be your starter for a couple years, and now he's shot. To me, you're packing it in for the year. I think Frank Reich's going to lose his job at the end of the year. If you're going that route with it, I don't think they're too keen on like, oh, we got to play tape. No, it's like 2022 is almost a lost year for the Colts now. And so why would you risk your franchise running back if he's not, there's something's off with him.
Yeah.
So if he's going to be out and it's going to be spotty, Deion Jackson, absolutely, like lock him in. And maybe Zach Moss too. We'll see what Zach Moss does now that he's traded there.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple weeks sample size, and we'll see if Zach Moss has any value too.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I was kind of surprised to see Zach Moss getting traded, but with the the Bills, with the way they kind of pass and little short dump offs, running backs here and there, and they pretty much had a 3-headed horse anyways. So with their rookie James Cooks, and then now they got Hines,
who's great out of the catching passes out of the backfield. He's one of the best. Hines is actually a top 5 receiving back.
Yeah, so he's probably a little bit better than freaking Singletary.
So a lot of those receptions he was getting, I think, are going to go. Even if Taylor does play, I think there's room for Deion Jackson. I really, especially in deeper 16, 20-man leagues, if you can get your hands on him, snag him up because he's gonna get those receptions that Hines was getting.
Yeah,
because he's more of the receiver. Taylor's more of your like old school Emmitt Smith kind of.
Yeah.
Just shifty, quick. Power. It got the whole package, but in that end of it, is there anybody else in the waivers or anybody else you think these guys should before we move on to a different? I know we got so many fucking sports up there. We'll get.
I know, right?
We'll shift it around here. Whatever. We'll talk. We'll talk whatever the hell we want. I think I need another. We out of these. Of course we are. We're fucking out of those old Smokies. God damn it.
I'm actually trying to think here if there's anybody else that's kind of out there that one could probably take a look at that might be helpful for them this weekend. But I'm
trying to think of like a sleeper. Like you wouldn't have thought about Demarcus Robinson. Even a couple weeks ago, he wouldn't have even crossed your mind. But now that Rashad Bateman's out for the rest of the year,
yeah.
Robinson could actually be Baltimore's probably maybe number 2?
Yeah, either number 2 or number 3 guy. I mean, either way,
he's going to get target. I mean, especially if Mark Andrews is out, it's going to be what in terms of targets. It's going to be likely.
Yeah.
Robinson.
Well, Duvernay probably a little bit more.
Duvernay is probably going to be their number 1 guy.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because he was available in a lot of different 12-man and 16-man. He was undrafted, and it's inconceivable now because now he's going to be getting the 8 targets a week.
Yeah, there's guys.
Boy, you hit it on the park. If you picked up Duvernay after that because he went off week 1, he was a monster.
Yeah. If
you picked him up after week 1, you're reaping the benefits, man.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I mean, Corey Davis is out. The Rams. I guess if you guys got needed help with wide receiver, Van Jefferson's back.
Yeah, Van's playing.
So there's won't be a hard risk that maybe go pick up Van Jefferson and see what he does. I mean,
he's a great deep threat. I mean, Cooper Kupp does everything. I mean, we would agree that he's more of the underneath. Go across get the tough catch. I mean, Cooper Kupp is. I mean, he can do everything, but. I guess you would assume that now that Deshaun Jackson's not there and he was there for a cup of coffee,
yeah.
But and Odell's not there, that Van Jefferson's going to be the deep threat.
Yeah.
He might not get a lot of targets and kind of the surplus of catches, but if you can get 2 catches for 72 yards and a touchdown out of Van Jefferson, hey man, that's like over 13 points right there, or 15. So that's what do you got?
I'm just looking like why in the hell why is there almost 22,000 ads of Cam Akers?
What the fuck? What is it with Cam? Cam Akers is trash. He's garbage.
Unless because I know was it
Kyron Williams? I called it on the show on Tuesday, man.
Yeah,
I said by week 13 he'll be their full-time starting running back. Like I don't know why people are rushing out to get fucking Cam Akers. Like is Henderson hurt?
Oh, that's because
what the fuck?
They haven't activated Kareem yet, so
but,
that's probably why.
Okay, but they will. But Rivers was the leading in terms of attempts last week. The undrafted guy, Rivers, was the leading running back.
I guess
so. This scrub couldn't even out touch him.
I guess it's coming down to
fuck you, Cam Akers.
I guess it's coming down to them trying to figure out who they're trying to fucking play now. I guess.
Yeah, right. What are you 40? Like a poor man's 49ers. Like, how about Malik Davis in Dallas and Zeke banged up?
Well, I don't think Elliott's quite banged up yet. He's maybe a little bit, but with them being on bye, I think they're going to be going back to their.
What size league? I mean, that's a hard one because I think Tony Pollard. If he's not, he needs to be. We said this before the season started, but on our preseason shit back in August. Tony Pollard needs to be the number 1 back in Dallas if they're going to do anything, and for fantasy owners too. Like Pollard is a beast, and they
he's a beast, but he's
been on layaway. He's been on layaway for a couple of years. He's a number 1 back.
Yeah. From what I was hearing is even though he had this good week here this last week. He was gassed. He was from reports and stuff like that I was hearing. I'm like,
we'll get him an oxygen mask. Get back on the damn field.
So he was for him because typically he usually gets about 14 some odd carries, and that's typically high for him. And even though him getting 14 carries, he's it's quite a bit for a guy like him. That's he's been second guy, kind of off and on a little bit. So he's not, physically up to getting a lot of those a lot of that stuff that Zeke was getting, So
if I want some tough yards, Zeke, okay, absolutely, not gonna argue that. But in terms of who needs to get the surplus of targets, out of the backfield receiving, who needs to get a majority of the rushing attempts, it's got to be Tony Pollard. Yeah. It has to be, especially but Malik Davis, to answer your question, no, not yet. But if one of these 2 backs goes down, fucking jump on him. This would have been a deeper keep. Keeper. Yeah, not yet. Too early. I don't think. I know some of these guys are sharks in some of these leagues, and they're. It's like chess. They're 2 steps ahead. They're like, okay, if this fucker goes, so. But I would just keep him. Yeah, I'd just keep him on the radar. Keep him on the radar. Malik Davis.
Oh, Malik Davis.
I keep, because Zeke's in the 7th year. Zeke, any touch.
He's one.
Zeke could go down for the year. That wouldn't shock me. Would that shock you?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he's one of their because they have Malik Davis, and there was another guy too on their practice squad too. I'm trying to remember offhand. They were talking about a little bit too.
Frank Gore,
no. Right? No, it was one of those. I was listening to one of the Dallas pods or whatever it was. They had him, had Malik Davis, and there was another guy too that there was kind of in the talks too that could have been suited up that game too. And I honestly just stayed away because Pollard was the guy that was actually going to get all the carries because he's been the offense for however long, and so for me, for a lot of people, Pollard was that guy that day, which he reaped the benefits for a lot of it, but
the way these backs are, the way players in general. Keenan Allen 10th year. I think this is going to be a trend for Keenan Allen going forward. I don't think he has much value. Zeke's in his 7th year, man. Not everybody's Derrick Henry. Like, would you be shocked if this weekend, or I guess gonna buy, but week 10 Zeke gets an injury, ACL or something, wrist, something, knee, something goes wrong with him, and he goes down for the year. Would you want a compliment in a deeper league? Would you want a complimentary back like a Malik Davis? I think he's Because Tony Pollard's not going down. I think Tony Pollard will be just fine. But as like,
I think Pollard would get more of the work than a lot of if it's
So you can think it'd be a Pierce situation where he's getting like 80, like a Josh Jacobs Pierce situation where they're getting over 80% of the
they would probably have a couple of these guys like.
So there wouldn't be like a committee 60. This guy 60. This guy 30. This guy 10.
Yeah, so I mean Pollard would probably be the main guy if that ever did happen. Davis, I'm trying to remember the other guy. I think they would probably flex one of those two guys in there to give Pollard a break in there, but I would just keep one of those guys on your watch list. I wouldn't be adding them offhand. That's me personally, because I thought about adding. I think it was either Davis or one of those two other guys. One of the other guys. I was thinking about trying to add him. I'm like, nope. I just stayed away.
There's a lot of shit that crosses when you're in deeper leagues, and Jamie does a dynasty. I don't. I'm interested, but when you're in deeper leagues or you're in dynasty, you're in keeper, you're whatever. There's a lot of different things that cross your mind, like because you have to think ahead. If you don't think ahead, man, you'll be fucking 1-13 every year.
Well,
I mean, you have to have foresight to be like, or you have to be able to adapt on the fly. That's the thing about Jamie. Jamie didn't. That's why he's a champion. The guy, he didn't fucking hesitate. The minute CMC was traded, he was fucking within. I guarantee within a couple hours, Jamie was fucking like, yep, Foreman, yep. He picked right. It's like picking the right at the slot machine. It's like hitting the jackpot, man. Yeah. He got it. He didn't go with Hubbard. He was like, nope, Foreman's going to be their main back, and now he's going to reap the benefits and go as far as he can go in his leagues that he grabbed him in. So sometimes you have to. So I'm glad that you're thinking ahead with Davis, but in that scenario. But I just think right now, until something happens, he's not getting any kind of looks. When you have a beloved fan favorite like Zeke. Zeke's still a beloved guy.
Yeah,
I mean, how many jerseys does Zeke sell?
I mean, Zeke's
and Pollard, it's just,
Zeke's going to be.
They're not benching him. Hell no. Hell, it would take a major injury to get Zeke. With not getting at least 40% of the carries.
Zeke's going to play no matter what.
Yeah, exactly.
It's going to be Zeke, Pollard until something else changes. I mean, Jones is. I mean, Zeke's with the way everybody was talking. Zeke is a Jones guy, so I mean, if some major happens or whatever, Zeke's gonna be in Dallas for however long.
Yeah, Jerry loves him.
Yeah, so I mean, they drafted him high, which is why, so now he might be getting a little bit older, So I mean, Zeke's still gonna be kind of their 1-2 guy. I mean, for offense wise, gonna be their punch. They're eating. Yeah. I don't even know what I'm trying to talk about.
Jared, yeah, they sell. I guarantee Tony Pollard, damn good player. They're not selling a ton of his jerseys. I would bet money on Zeke. Still, him and Dak are 1A in terms of selling. And at the end of the day, it's a business. So.
Yeah, pretty much.
So that was our football talk. What about NASCAR? What about we touched a little bit on it on Tuesday. But I thought we'd bring up some of the Phoenix stats for the 4 guys, because there's Joey Logano, who's a punk.
Yeah,
I don't like him.
I don't like him either.
You know what? And some goner. Yeah, I'm talking to you. He's I don't know. He's out of here. He came in to be a hater.
Yeah, we have our lovely fan from the Discord up in here.
So he's like my Joey Logano equivalent. So we got Logano, we got Chase Elliott, who me and Jamie, that would be our preference if we got to pick our who we want to win the title.
Yeah.
Kind of the dark horse, Ross Chastain, who's had a really good season.
Yeah.
And Christopher Bell, who got himself in by winning that last race. So
yeah, for sure.
It's Denny Hamlin. You choked again, dude. Like, sorry, you're never gonna win a title. So sorry. There's some people that just aren't meant to win titles.
Yeah,
and you're one of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, it's interesting. I would say that I've been a lot more. I don't know, with some of the race. I mean, look at that fucking movie, that wall move. I mean, that was straight out of a fucking video game.
Yeah, it's something.
Like who does that shit? I don't know. If you saw that live too, I was it makes me wish I still had like DVR or TiVo. Like,
right?
Fucking rewind that shit. Like, what the fuck?
For sure.
But yeah, no. So that's gonna be Sunday, and we'll be. So I'll probably be flipping back and forth between the games and the race. And no, Chase Elliott, man, I would.
I think Chase would be the main guy that we're all shooting for to be the guy. I guess you can put it that way.
Oh yeah. I'm trying to find something here. I know it's not Pornhub. But he was trying to pull up some running back, some PPR running back stats. Pull that up.
Yeah.
There we go.
Well, while we're at it,
I'm
since we're kind of like in that we're in that kind of that season wise. These are kind of your half point. I mean, half PPR. You got Nick Eckler, Barkley, Henry, Josh Jacobs. These are kind of your guys, top 10 leading guys.
Okay, so finish up our NASCAR points. So Chase Elliott has got 1 win and 4 top 5s at Phoenix, which isn't great, but I think that's enough. And he's a clutch driver. I mean, Chase, the former champion.
Yeah.
And and Bell and Chastain are kind of the new guys, the up and comers. And Logano's a punk. I don't care if you get him out of here. Look. I mean, Logano's been good at. Any of these guys have a chance, but just Chase Elliott's my guy. But running backs here.
Yeah, these are just half point PPRs. I mean, there's a difference with full PPR. Eckler would be up there. Chubb would actually be third. Christian McCaffrey would be second. And so half point to full point. There'd be a little bit of a difference.
So similar.
Yeah, so I mean,
gives a good idea though.
Yeah, Eckler just being he's a mon. I mean, in half point, Chubb is just being a monster.
Every game, every fucking game, it's 100 yards with this guy. It's like clockwork.
It is for some odd reason. For as bad as the Browns are, I mean, Chubb is. I mean, I'm actually surprised Kareem didn't get traded. I was actually hoping for Kareem to get traded, for him to actually go somewhere else, but that never even happened at all, which I was kind of surprised about. To actually, I was hoping maybe he would go somewhere that someone needed him. He would actually help him up his game, maybe get a different contract, because he's going to be a free agent this year.
Yeah, they should have moved him. Yeah. Honestly, and the Eagles, and I like Miles Sanders a lot, but if you combine fucking Miles Sanders with Kareem Hunt, that would be my Super Bowl favorite. I think they're better. Right? I mean, people might even argue now they're better in Buffalo and KC, but you get that running back tandem, you might as well just hand the hardware over to Philly. But the one guy in the top 10 that I'm actually shocked by, I'll be on. I am not a fan of this guy, Josh Jacobs at number 6. I mean, and he's gotten almost 84% of the workload, and so there's and then maybe that's why he's there, because he's getting majority of the workload, and they're a bad team. Yeah. Maybe he's just a recipient of a bad team. Maybe this is what Josh Jacobs. Yeah, that's what, full PPR.
No,
half PPR.
No, this is just pretty much.
Oh, yardage. Okay.
Yeah, this is pretty much just running back yards. Just season wise. I mean, if you look at it, I mean, look at Dameon Pierce for being a rookie coming in, actually having almost 700 yards rushing.
And he didn't even play. Jamie, first, I know at least week 1 and 2. I mean, it was Rex Burkhead who was like the main. I actually picked Rex up for a week in one of the, so Pierce has only really gotten going probably the last 3-4 games. He's just cranking out 100 now 139 last night. Beast mode. ETN. And they were going to move off James Robinson once this kid started taking off.
Yeah,
that's what they expected when they took him out of Clemson. Khalil Herbert, I didn't know. Holy shit!
Yeah, I mean, when I was looking at this, I'm like, I
got more yards. What the fuck?
I was actually thinking about, I was like, why isn't Montgomery having more rushing yards than Herbert? So I was like, man, for a Bear to actually be in the top 10 for rushing yards wise, that's kind of crazy, honestly. To tell you the truth.
Well, maybe not. David Montgomery was a few years ago was a decent, you could argue top 10 back, but
yeah.
But no, I just I like Khalil Herbert a lot. I've been singing his praises for over a year now. I've been like, yeah. So I just didn't know he had. I mean, he's going to end up with 1,000 yards.
Yeah, more than likely. Dalvin Cook's up in there.
Is that supposed to be 551 instead of?
What?
That's probably supposed to be 5.
Oh yeah, probably. Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Watch one of these haters.
It was probably my bad.
He should be number 7, Jamie.
Yeah, it was probably 5 when I was doing this morning.
Whatever.
Yeah. But yeah,
we're half asleep sometimes.
yeah, no, I for which is Barkley being up there in most of the top in the top 5 of a lot of these categories is kind of surprising. Him coming back from his ACL. I mean, that much. He might even be the guy who,
comeback player of the year.
yeah, might, well, even
absolutely.
It might be a toss
or him or Geno Smith. Yeah.
Or well, no, Henry was out too, so Henry might be the comeback player of the year too, because he ended up getting hurt pretty early in the season too. And the funny, crazy thing is, Henry had more yards than anybody else, and I think it took like 4 or 5 weeks for anybody even to
catch up to him.
Catch up with him. He was
on
the top of the chain for over a whole month before anybody even caught up with
He's going to do it again this year. Look at this. If Nick Chubb wasn't having like the season of his life here, I mean, Derrick Henry would be, and the way the Titans are. I mean, Malik Willis didn't do shit. Had 55 yards passing in their win. So if right now if they're 5-2, if the Titans end up like 12-5 and they win that division, I mean, you got to have some MVP votes for Derrick Henry.
Yeah,
I mean, he's doing it again.
Yeah,
for sure.
I mean, I mean, I'm a Titans fan, Cowboys fan. I mean, I like the fact that Henry's typically doing what he's needed doing, but I mean, I'm a little off on Tannehill. I mean, I wouldn't mind the rookie, because I think the rookie's got a little bit more of a, spunk to him, that he's more capable of running or passing unlike Tannehill. He can kind of run, but I just think Malik Willis will pan out for this their team down the road.
All right, yeah. Get some.
Yeah, and this is our. So this.
Oh, we got one more.
Well, this is
Holy shit.
Yep, Nick Chubb he has 10 rushing touchdowns this season.
Holy fuck! Jamal Williams is at holy shit.
Yes. So you ever think with Swift maybe not possibly playing this week, if he's not I mean Jamal Williams is tearing it up.
Absolute start. Not even if you don't start Jamal, if Swift is out again at this point, if you don't start Jamal Williams. I mean, they might as well just dig your grave right now. You're brain dead. You're brain dead. It's over.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, cut the cord. It's over.
Yeah, you got a couple guys. Pretty much 6 through 10, they're all tied with 5.
Maybe that's why Philly didn't make a deal. Maybe they're like, well, hey, I think we're good enough with Miles Sanders. And Miles Sanders, he's number 5 in touchdowns, number 6 in rushing yards.
Yeah, for sure.
Probably number 6 in traded Trevor Lawrence for Nick Chubb in a 12-man dynasty. Oh, genius.
Yeah.
I'll eat a plate of shit here. I don't know about you, but like I was high on Lawrence, especially coming into the season. I thought Doug Peterson would really do some good things with him, and adding Christian Kirk and ETN, what he's been. I thought him and Robinson would be a good duo, and they just, I don't know. I'll give him one more year because he was one of the best college quarterbacks ever. And he was a number 1 overall pick. I'll give him one more year after this, and after that, I'm off I'm like, yeah, it's time to move on. But that's genius. Nick Chubb is going to be doing this for at least another 2 years, I'd say. I think he's got like at least next year, if not 2024, in a dynasty, especially in a dynasty league. Yeah, that is a slam dunk home run. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I would. I mean, I would do it. I mean, if somebody wants Trevor Lawrence,
go for it. Yeah.
Next year, Trevor Lawrence will have Ridley, so I'm kind of excited about that, because I actually drafted Ridley in.
It's your guy.
Yeah. In my dynasty startup league I did this year. I picked up Ridley,
stashed him away.
Yeah, pretty much stashed him away, because I knew what he's capable of, because I actually had him in I had him in our keeper league, and I ended up picking him up. I can't remember. I think I picked him up either off the waiver wire or one of those two things. I can't remember exactly offhand, but all I know is I remember having him for a couple of years, and he was pretty much the number 1 guy before. He was pretty much taking over for Julio Jones, because Julio Jones was in and out of the offense at that time before he ended up getting traded. So I mean, I think with Trevor Lawrence, I think this might help. I think next year this will help him out next year. I was pretty excited when I heard that, but overall, yeah, Nick Chubb if you can get Nick Chubb on your team, go for it, man, because
this train ain't stopping. I mean, it's gonna take a fucking ACL to stop this man. He's gonna be doing this for at least a couple more years.
I think the other thing is too with I think it's a couple more weeks or so, because then they'll get what's his name? They'll get Watson in at quarterback. But
hey, if you have if you have an extra spot, and I don't know about 16, I would assume somebody's already taken the gamble and stashed him away. But in Dynasty or in 12-man or any kind of formats like that, if you've got a chance to get your hand on Deshaun Watson, well, people had their hands on Deshaun Watson. I'm telling you now, he's got. I mean, Amari Cooper's still got something left in the tank. We like Peoples-Jones.
Yeah.
The tight end when he's healthy, and Njoku's a stud.
Yeah.
Obviously they didn't move Hunt, so he's got 2 stud backs. I mean, and they might have something to play for. I mean, if the Browns can win it, if they can get to like 5 and 6 by the time he comes back, I mean, they'll still be in the hunt for the 7th spot. I would definitely go. I'll get him myself. I'm not. I'll get him myself.
Are you in our 6? Are you? Yeah, I think you got to be in our 60-man league, aren't you? Yeah, I think you are. I don't remember if you joined the invitation or not this week or this year or not. I can't remember exactly if you're part of our clan or not. But yeah, I mean overall,
family.
Yeah, but overall, I mean, I am Trevor Lawrence. I had him and I dumped him because I thought maybe he was going to have some spark this year with Christian Kirk.
I did too, yeah.
So I was kind of hoping that maybe he would rebound after this year. But I mean, he hasn't had a bad. I mean, this year's a little bit better than last year for sure.
But when you look at guys that are kind of his peers, Jalen Hurts is like probably what just basically riding out the year, man. Doing these kind of level games, and he's gonna win the MVP. I mean, he's going to beat out Josh. I mean, I would consider him a peer of Lawrence. He played against him in college, and they're about the same age. Like, so Jalen Hurts is tearing it up. Justin Herbert, stud. I mean, just franchise quarterback the next 10, 15 years. So it's just a bad look. Even Tua's from the 2020 class. Like, Tua's tearing it up. Like, now he's got better weapons, but so they give him a healthy Calvin Ridley that's not gambling on games next year. They give him, Christian Kirk, maybe if Ingram or a better tight end than him, maybe they get him some help in the offensive line. ETN, I think a full season of a full workload, I can be a top 10 back going forward, perennially. So he's got everything he needs. And the defense, they're not like. Not bad, okay. They're a middle of the road defense, so it's not like not the Lions, like where Goff has no help. Goff needs to put up 30 points to win a game.
Yeah.
So he has. To me, Lawrence is running out of excuses.
Yeah, for sure.
You need
for being a first overall pick.
Yeah.
I mean, you shouldn't be playing like this.
No, this is.
Well,
not,
I mean, with the given with freaking was it Mike Myers?
But then again, Baker Mayfield's the number 1 overall pick too, and he'll be playing in the XFL. So.
Yeah, hell, he might be. Fuck. Honestly, you never know though. I know it's one of those things. It's halfway through the season now with the second half. If you think about it now, Chase not being there, Pickens will probably end up being their number 2 guy.
You know what? I like Deontay a lot, but I could see it developing towards the end of the year where George Pickens will be the number 1 guy.
Oh,
I wouldn't be shocked towards the end of the season, Jamie, if George Pickens is the number 1 receiver in Pittsburgh.
Let me look here. I'm gonna look at
some of their.
I'm gonna look at here.
Deontay's targets versus George Pickett's targets. Let's just say the last 3 games. When Pickett really took over.
I'm actually gonna see. I'm gonna look at something just yard wise, just pretty much yard wise. I'm just kind of curious to see where these 2 guys are at. Where they rank, pretty much.
See, this is what we do. We said we were going to talk about other stuff, and we tried for you guys. We put the scroll down there. We put a bunch of headlines, but we just ended up talking football. We love football.
Yeah,
that's what we're good. That's what we're good at.
I mean, we could probably snake in a little.
We'll talk. Yeah, we'll talk Game 6 World Series, but Jamie's making some great points here, and while he's looking for that, I'm going to mention too. Seattle. I know Marquise Goodwin was probably the number 3 receiver for the last few weeks with them. So maybe that means more touches or, targets for Will Dissly. Disley's fallen off the last few weeks, maybe with Goodwin being out, maybe, in DK is not 100% healthy. Lockett's been getting, Lockett's doing just fine. Him and Gino got a good rapport. So Lockett, I would actually say right now is probably the number one guy in Seattle. DK, I think it's probably number 2 right now. And then I think Will, because I know Will Dissly's available in a bunch of 12-mans, and if he's a cheap DFS option. I would go snag with that Goodwin injury. I wouldn't go and grab another Seattle receiver. I would go and grab Will Dissly. I'm not a big fan of Noah Fant, so I think Dissly's the better play of the two. So I just thought, I saw that down there, and I got my brain going here.
Tariq's actually number 1 in fantasy point wise.
Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
Does that shock you? I mean, 200 yards. He's doing the same shit he did in Kansas City.
So
200 yards every week.
So pretty much my two, Tariq and Waddle, they're both top 5 in yards.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Let's see here. Mark Cooper is 11.
Thank you, Tua.
Right? I mean, Tua coming back after this. I mean, he's balling out.
He's gonna end up getting him, like, these two boys are gonna end up getting him $40+ million. Like in a few years when Tua gets that big contract, he can thank Waddle and Tyreek for that.
So Deontay Johnson is 36 in wide receiver yards wise. So he's got,
it doesn't surprise me.
So he's got 372 yards wise.
Yeah, Deontay. I mean, he hasn't been like he hasn't been up to the level he was at last year. Absolutely.
And Pickens, about 40. Almost, he's top 50 in
but
in yards.
You gotta remember,
338 yards. So these two guys are actually.
There's not much difference right now.
I think Pickens will be the favorite going down.
I think he is, and I think people were, so we drafted him 9th, 10th round in some of the snake 16. I think it was 16 man. We drafted him.
Yeah, I mean, I think you took him.
But...
I drafted him in quite a few leagues. I know I haven't dropped him yet, but I mean, he's actually had some nice boom catches, and I think with him actually being in the offense now, I think he's more capable of. I think he'll surpass Deontay Johnson.
I agree. And
hopefully he can. I'm hoping he can maybe get 800 yards for his rookie season. He maybe get a couple more touchdowns in there.
I don't think if Pickett. Their offense is god awful, but I don't know. I think he could easily get 800. I think 900 is probably more of the mark.
But I think
second half of the year, I think a lot of people are gonna be surprised by what George Pickens does.
Yeah, I don't quite think he gets 1,000 yards, but I think he gets 800. You think he gets 900?
Somewhere in that ballpark. Yeah, he.
I guess
because somebody's got to get the Freiermuth right now is just not. He's not playing like we thought he would. Deontay's not playing like we thought he would. Najee. So the whole offense is underperforming. So somebody's got to get those targets. Somebody's got to get those yards. I mean, they're still going to put up 200 passing yards a week minimum. So. Unless you're Aaron Rodgers, and then it's more like 130. But
speaking of would you if you guys got Dobbs, I'll be playing Dobbs. Lazard I think he's out.
Lazard's out. Yeah. Let's just assume
I think
he's
Cobb's out too. So
Cobb's out till week, I think, like 11.
Yeah. Christian Watson, I'm not sure. Let's assume he's out because he came back, got a concussion like within 2 plays. So that was kind of a wash.
Romeo Dobbs is to me. He is against the Lions, especially. Romeo Dobbs is an absolute flex. I don't care what size league you're in. Romeo Dobbs is a flex. I put, last night he got me 3 catches and 69 yards, but I was that confident in Philip Dorsett last night.
Yeah.
Because I was like, okay, who the hell else are the Texans going to throw it to?
Yeah.
Because Cooks was out, and who's the other kid?
Nico
Collins was out too. So I'm like, okay, he's going to be their de facto number 1.
Yeah.
So, if I could have got my hands on Romeo Doubs, I would have started him in a heart. So, any size league, Romeo Doubs needs to be at least flexed, something DFS,
or at least on your guys' bench, at least.
At the minimum. If he's available in if people are stupid enough to keep him in like a 10 or 12 man, if he's fucking available, go snag him up right the fuck now.
Yeah.
I'm saying this right now. I know Lazard was kind of, and we said by the end of the year he wouldn't be their number 1. I said that. Lazard would not be their number 1 receiver. Romeo Doubs will be going forward. Will be their number 1 guy. If Rodgers sticks around next year and you're in a keeper league, whatever you got to do to get your hands on Romeo Doubs, do it now. He's going to be the next Devontae Adams.
All right. Well, we can.
No, and we'll wrap this up. But I I'm that confident that he's going to be the next Devontae.
Well, we can run through these couple of these games here quick. I'll just say win or lose.
Yep.
Chargers and Atlanta. You got pretty much Herbert, Mariota.
Chargers are going to win that game.
I think so. I think Mariota. He'll probably have a good game on ground. I don't know how many. I just don't think London will probably be as effective as he has been lately. I think he's on a downwards trend right now. Eckler, he might get a couple touchdowns.
I think Eckler is the biggest, because who the hell is Justin Herbert going to throw it to? Yeah. I think Eckler's going to have another 2 touchdown monster game.
Either Palmer or Carter probably get it. Either one of those guys. I think either one of those 2 guys will end up having a touchdown.
I think Josh Palmer 1 touchdown, 2 touchdowns for Eckler. I think Chargers win 27-21.
Miami and Chicago.
I'm
gonna go with Miami.
I'm gonna go Miami there, and I'm gonna say, look what Dallas did to that Bears defense last week. I think Miami's gonna. I think they're gonna put up some points. I think it'd be. I think 37 to 37-17. I think they're gonna whoop them up.
I think the Bears will probably put up some more points tonight. I think this is going to be one of those games.
Shootout.
I think it's going to be a shootout. So I think Fields is going to be a little bit better. They got Claypool now. I think
How do you think he does his first game? Do you, like if Claypool's on your bench, do you put him? Depending on what who's got to buy and who's got put Claypool in there.
I guess if you really need somebody, I guess Claypool. It won't probably. I guess it probably wouldn't hurt to actually put Claypool in there. I'm sure he will get some catches in there. I don't know. I'd maybe say 60, 70 yards maybe, because they're going to need somebody to toss to.
And Mooney's not a number 1.
No,
they paid because they knew Mooney wasn't a number 1, and they're like, yeah, we want Chase Claypool. He's going to be our number 1 guy.
Yeah, pretty much start Tua, start your freaking Hill, Waddle, start all those guys.
Mo start too. Put him in there.
Maybe. I don't know. They got Jeff Wilson now too. So, but
I think it's going to take he similar offense in San Francisco, but I mean, let's wait and see. I think Mo starts right now is the better start than Jeff Wilson.
Carolina Bengals start PJ Walker. Yeah.
Is Chase going to play? Or he's out? Or Chase is out for a little bit. Yeah. They
didn't put him on IR, but Chase is out. So
I'm taking Carolina with you know what? Carolina's going to upset them. Carolina's going to win that game.
I
didn't like what I saw from Burrow against. And I know it's just one game against a division team, but I didn't like what I saw from Burrow Monday. I was not impressed. Boyd's very inconsistent. Higgins would be the guy. If there's going to be a guy that's going to pop, it's going to be Higgins, because Mixon didn't do shit either.
No,
against the Browns. So, and then from the Carolina, you know what?
DJ Moore. Baby.
DJ Moore's been on fire.
Yeah.
He's been hot. That seems to be Walker's target now. So I you know what, we were shitting on DJ Moore a few weeks ago. I think you got to start him. You got absolute must start DJ Moore.
Yeah.
Don't even think about it anymore.
Yeah. Terrence Marshall. If you're really if
you're desperate, buy league 16, 20 man. Yeah, go get Terrence Marshall if you're in a desperate.
Green Bay Lions.
Anybody. I mean, Packer, like I said, Romeo Doubs. Obviously Aaron Jones. He's gonna be. You can't pick him up, but Aaron Jones is gonna go off.
St. Brown, start him. Even though they haven't really done anything, I'd start because he's gonna be their main guy there. I mean, St. Brown, start him either way.
Khalif Raymond. I like Khalif, and he was actually the guy I dropped for Dorsett.
Yeah.
And I might be eating to play shit on that. Maybe Khalif goes for 100 and a touchdown. But I think if you're in a desperate situation, Khalif Raymond, you can comfortably stick in the flex or something. I like that. What else you got?
I guess Rodgers, maybe. I don't know. That's kind of I'm not really on any of these guys.
It's a wait and see on Detroit's tight ends too.
Yeah.
We don't know what any of these clowns are. We don't even know any of these guys' names. So just gotta wait and see on if you want a Detroit tight end.
Raiders, Jags.
God, that's the toilet bowl.
Yeah, fuck that game. It's not even. Raiders probably win that game.
I don't care.
Yeah.
They're good fantasy last year together.
I mean, I guess Adams probably your Adams.
Well, that's a no brain.
Adams probably in that game.
What the fuck was?
Just start Adams either way. I mean, he's their number 1 go-to guy there.
I'll tell you this about the Raiders game. I would bet whoever your backup is, and if somehow you're dumb enough to start Derek Carr needs to be on your bench. You know what? If you're in a 12-man, I would drop Derek Carr. Derek Carr is playing that bad. I would drop. Can't believe I didn't pull the trigger and grab Dion. That's what Chad. What are you doing? What are you doing? This is a perfect example. Dion, we were talking about him. I don't know if you were listening, like 20-minute mark of the show. We were talking up Deion Jackson, how you got to have him, stash him away. Yes, of course, it's that damn Sharknadoes. They're always doing some some shenanigans.
Yeah, pretty much.
Still gonna win when. Yeah, right.
Hey, I've been a Zach Moss guy since he's been in with the Utes.
Maybe your perseverance with him, your loyalty will pay off, and maybe he goes. Maybe Zach Moss. Maybe when Taylor's out for the year in a couple weeks, maybe Zach Moss is the number one back in Indy.
Damn.
I just dumped Carr. That's my man. That's my man. Yes. Derek Carr is, to me, he's trash. He's absolute garbage. He's. You know what? It used to be Daniel Jones, but now it's Derek Carr. Derek Carr is trash. Thank you.
Yes, crazy shit. But Indy and freaking Patriots.
Devontae Parker has been in. I think he's out this week.
I think Parker is out this week.
Jacoby Myers, I think, and this is probably a no-brainer. Most of you probably already have him in, but Jacoby Myers is a slam dunk, absolute start this week.
Pittman, if you got him, I start him either way. He's gonna be the target guy. Unless Pierce does something.
I don't. No, I don't. I was trying to think who Indy had. Like, see, I don't know who Ellinger is gonna have a rapport with yet. I would assume Pierce because they're kind of young guys together.
Well, I was kind of hoping.
Also, Jay, there's a waiver claim for you to make who I dropped from Moss.
In the 12-man or the 16-man you talking about, Chad?
Waiver claim.
I'm trying to think too because I was gonna.
Are you speaking in tongues, Chad?
I think he's talking about me trying to pick up Zach Moss.
Beat him with a punch.
Oh no, he's actually trying to think who. Oh, because he dropped. You had Moss and dropped him. I got confused there for a minute. I mean. I guess if they don't play Taylor, I mean Zach Moss is actually, pushing deeper leagues. I would consider. I almost thought about picking him up in my 20-man league too. I was maybe. Well, yeah, I need to go make some waiver claims for sure. I'm not sure who yet though, but that's for damn sure.
You and me both, brother.
Right?
Oh, God.
But yeah, let's give it. If Taylor's out, Jackson for sure. Moss maybe. I'm not sure quite on Moss, but Deion Jackson for sure.
Jamie, I'll say it now. Deion Jackson, because I know there's a few bye weeks for some guys. Deion Jackson.
Yeah, this can be a struggle week for sure because there's a lot of bye weeks.
Absolute start. If you got Deion Jackson's absolute flex, or even a running back spot. That's how confident I am. Deion Jackson this weekend. Go ahead.
Buffalo Jets. That's probably going to be a whole.
I think you might be surprised. I think the guy that's going to blow up this week for the Bills. He had a rushing touchdown last week. I think he's starting to get healthy. McKenzie. I like McKenzie. Isaiah McKenzie. Dawson Knox. He's been having some. Okay, what he hasn't been getting in targets and receptions, he's been making up for. He's had a touchdown each of the last 2 games. Yeah. So he's been finding a way to get people 9-10 points, which is serviceable for a tight end.
Yeah.
You said the Jets?
Yep, Jets.
Conklin, he's damn near with the buys and shit. Conklin's damn near a must start too if you can get your hands on him.
Conklin,
he's been going off, man. Yeah. And I don't see any CJ Uzomah in sight, so he's going to be he's for sure the number one tight end.
Especially with them playing the Bills, they're going to be doing.
Both teams are putting up some points, absolutely.
Carter for sure. I'm not sure how what Robinson's going to be doing, but Carter for sure.
Michael Carter, absolutely.
I have to start him in a couple leagues, so because I have both.
I trade him to Josh. I hope Robinson does good.
Yeah.
I hope Michael Carter's the number one back. Not in question.
So I'm kind of curious to see with Singletary and Hines how this mismatch or not mismatch, how these two guys kind of pan out.
I think it's going to work. I think Singletary will get his like 65 yards rushing or so, and Hines will get his 4 receptions for 40 yards.
For sure.
They'll just piece it together, and then the other guy, Diggs will do his thing. Bills have just got weapons up the ass.
Yeah.
They're going to put up 30 easily.
Yeah.
30.
So we both like the Bills. In
Yeah,
this one.
absolutely.
Yep.
Yep.
I think the Jets would probably try to put up a fight, but they lose out.
Yep. They just don't have enough firepower.
Yeah. And then Washington and the Vikings.
Let's see.
Ooh, this might be good. I think this would be a good game. Well, I guess with their defense a little bit, Heineke might get a 90 in this game if he's not watching what he's doing.
Yeah,
So I could probably,
Patrick Peterson's still a beast at the corner. Man, he could snip one real quick. Vikings are pretty much. I mean, I guess you could be like, well, okay, how's TJ Hawkinson going to perform? Because Hawk he's been like probably a starter on every size league. I mean, TJ Hawkinson's been a perennial top 10 tight end since he came in the league. So, I don't know what he's going to do. I mean, if you have a backup, I might just for a week, just to see what his usage rate's going to be and targets and shit, learn the offense. If you had a backup that's serviceable, like even from the Commanders, Logan Thomas. I would play them over Hawkinson. I would bench Hawkinson this week, kind of feel it out.
I mean, because Logan Thomas, he's been
consistent. I can see Logan Thomas get 11, 12 points. That's not maybe a touchdown and like 3 grabs, 30 yards, touchdown. That sounds about right. I can see that. That's totally doable. And Samuel too. Brock Wright. Oh, the Lions tight end.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's a wait and see. I mean, the Lions put up some points. They got a good offense. I mean, their defense is shit. The Lions got a good offense. So, it'd be a wait and see. I mean, if you're desperate at tight end, if this guy puts up if he gets like 5 targets, 58 yards, but the same thing goes for Kate Otten with the Bucks. There's some serviceable backup tight ends that are.
Oh yeah. I mean, with Hawk,
25% target. Yeah. So, but you just don't know when you got a lot of mouths to feed. When you're on a better organization and more mouths to feed, like JJ, Dalvin Cook, Thielen. I mean, Vikings got some high end fantasy guys, and so I don't know. I would just see what Hawk is going to do this week. If you've got a good backup, if your backup is shit, play Hawk, but. I just feel it out for a week.
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
You don't want him getting like 3 points or something, like where he just doesn't okay, I'm learning the offense. I'm just in here for decoy or something like. We have any more games?
Yeah. Well, Start Jefferson.
It's fun. We should do this fucking 40 minutes. This would be that's our show. It's like we talk shit and then we talk games.
Arizona, Seattle. Start Geno Smith. I think Murray. I think Murray gets a couple. Murray will probably get a couple touchdowns in there. I think this will be. I think they're at
Kyler.
Yep.
Yeah. Him and Hopkins. I would assume most people are already starting Hopkins.
Yeah.
If you wanted a secondary option,
Rondale Moore would be. I think
not this week. I like Dortch. Rondale's a better play usually. I think in this matchup against Seattle, I like Dortch. I like Dortch and Eno Benjamin. Eno Benjamin's been tearing it up the last few weeks. He's damn near a must start too.
Yeah, but Connor's playing this week though.
I think there's something there with. I mean, James Conner's a touchdown machine, but I think Eno Benjamin should be their every down back. I do like he. I mean, he does everything.
Kind of split the back.
Yeah. I've been very impressed with.
Start your Walker, DK and Lockett.
Yeah, Ken Walker, absolute must start.
Yeah,
you're dumb if you don't.
Yeah, start Lockett, Metcalf maybe. Metcalf.
If you've got a better backup, if you're depleted or benched or like buys or then absolutely you got to play DK.
I think DK will get a touchdown in this game. I believe. I think he gets 65 yards and a touchdown.
I think Lockett gets a touchdown. I think Ken Walker gets a touchdown. I think Will Dissly gets a touchdown. And I think with Jason, I think you get 3 field goals from Jason. I think it's going to be 30, and I think Arizona is going to put up 30-24 Seattle.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Seattle in that one. Tampa and the Rams.
Oh God, we got to for us, I mean, it's the same suspects, Mike Evans, Brady. If you don't have to play him, I'd bench his ass.
Yeah.
Obviously same characters. Lenny obviously play Lenny.
Yeah. Mike Evans and Godwin, if you got them, start them because they're going to get.
Yeah,
they're going to get theirs. Cup, if he's capable. If he's in the lineup, yep. I mean, he's a given.
You know what? And Van's just coming back this week. And usually I talk shit about him. I like Allen Robinson. Allen Robinson the last few weeks he's been getting targeted. He hasn't been dropping balls like he's been known to do. Like I like Allen. You got Allen Robinson and you got some buys going on. I wouldn't be opposed to playing him.
Yeah,
absolutely. Put Allen Robinson in there. He's been a solid number 2. I mean, he's not Higbee too. Higbee's been a solid tight end. I think it's the running game. I think the Rams have no fucking running backs.
No. Yeah, Henderson and Rivers and yeah.
And got other guys who should be on Dallas's practice squad.
That's right. So I think Tampa wins this one, huh?
Yeah.
And okay, then Tennessee, KC. That's gonna be good. That's gonna be a pretty close.
Yeah.
Close game.
I don't know if Tennessee keeps it on the ground.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Derrick Henry is going to have another 200. He's going to have to if they're going to have any chance of 300. 200 yard, 3 touchdown kind of game. Like if you have Derrick Henry, you're feasting this week. You're like, I'm winning my matchup.
Yeah. I got Henry in our 16 man.
Is there good? Is there? You're gonna go to 8-1. Is there any?
Hopefully.
Is there any Is there any redeemable receivers like Robert Woods or anybody that you would trust? If it's Malik Willis again. Would you trust any of these receivers with him? Because he put up 55 yards in his first game.
Woods would be the only guy I could probably trust with if one really needs one.
The Phillips kid or
Woods would be the only. Woods would probably be the only guy.
Yeah, I don't because I think he's hurt. Yeah, they don't have any. They really don't. It's gonna be Derrick Henry, and then if Malik can pull some magic,
they have freaking Nick Westbrook.
He's trash.
Yeah. So I mean, we got a lot of no namers. I'm not sure with. Burks.
If Treylon Burks plays this week, that is a sleeper. He's gonna be like by de facto because they don't have anybody else. By de facto, Treylon Burks in a few weeks he comes back healthy. He's gonna be their number. He's gonna jump Robert Woods, and Burks is gonna. That's what they drafted him for.
Yeah. I just don't think
right now. No, this week no. I think it's
if he does come
Derrick
back,
Henry.
I don't think he may get it. If he did come back this week, he probably won't get a few targets.
No, they'll pitch count or whatever they call it.
I heard Tony's going to be in the mix a little bit this week. So
God, I mean, like let's say you picked up McCole Hardman, and you're like, oh wow, he's gonna be my new flex guy or my solid bench, and then you find now he's fucking 5th on the depth chart again. Okay, you just can't. These damn Chiefs, they just have so many goddamn weapons. The only consistence, like I said, only 2 guys you can trust week in, week out: Mahomes, Kelsey. CEH, you don't know what he might pop this week.
Or Piaco.
Piaco might have a touchdown. There's just so many options. I mean, Juju, like you just don't know what week he's gonna pop. You don't know.
That's the downfall about that, especially with all these wide receivers. It's kind of hard to detain which guy is going to be like who's going to get the target.
Other than Kelsey, who's the number 1 target, who else is gonna But of those, the safest bet of those options obviously is Juju.
Yeah. But overall, I'm gonna go with Tennessee.
I'm taking Kansas. I think Kansas City's gonna kill him. I'll be honest, man.
Alrighty, and we got just a couple more games here. Just got 2 more games, and then we get up out of here. Baltimore and New Orleans.
With the Saints. If you're in a desperate, you got a quarterback buy or something. Andy Dalton's not a bad play.
No, I actually started Andy Dalton last week, and I actually won my matchup.
Yeah, so I mean, if you need a fill-in guy, I wouldn't. Like I said, I wouldn't. Expect you're not going to be 9-5 with Andy Dalton as your quarterback all year. But if you need him for 1 or 2 weeks, he's solid.
For sure.
Kamara's he seemed to come back to life. He's been having some good games lately. About time, about damn time. Just in time.
Yes.
Receivers. I'm and I think the verdict's. Baby's already out of the carriage, man. Like Chris Olave is a stud. I don't know why more people aren't on him.
Yeah.
Like he is.
Even though for being a rookie and coming into that kind of style offense, it was going to be a given with Mike Thomas Mike Thomas not being there at all now. Chris Olave's the game.
I think he's done it. It might just for the season. I think in general, I think Michael Thomas is done with football.
Hopefully he is, because I'm tired of seeing this guy in drafts.
Yeah, and being seduced, and Keenan Allen's headed down that same road too now. But with Thomas completely out of the picture, I mean, Marquez Callaway, who the hell is going to take targets away from Chris Olave? Chris Olave's going to get 12 targets this week. Okay, he's going to catch like 9 of them. Okay, this guy he's going to go off 9 catches, 130 yards, 2 touchdowns. I mean, Chris Olave's going to have. If you hadn't heard about him, you're going to hear about him now. He's going to tear him up. The Saints are going to pull an upset. They're going to beat the Ravens.
Yeah, this is the
because I think Mark Andrews is out. I don't like their running back situation.
I think Landry will be kind of in the mix, but he's been injury prone.
He's just a veteran at this point.
Yeah, I would have thought maybe he'd be
good locker room guy. Like he's not fans. I don't think
he's quite. He'll probably get his catches. He's barely been involved that much.
4 catches, 45 yards, maybe. He's at this point, that's all you can really expect. What's that? That's 8.5 points. I mean, if you're super desperate and just need the points, maybe start, but no, the only slant, or there's 2, Kamara and Chris Olave. And if you're desperate, Andy Dalton. And I mean, if and I thought he had 0 points last week, but he's had a few weeks where he's popped. Traquan Smith, if you're desperate.
Yeah, I actually got him. I actually picked up
Traquan.
Smith. Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah. I can see Traquan Smith having a 10, 12 point kind of game, which is enough for a fill-in.
Yeah, especially with them playing the Ravens.
Yeah,
and I mean,
Ravens defense, they can lapse sometimes. Look at all the points they gave up to the Jets.
Yeah,
and Flacco went. Didn't he go off on them?
Yeah. It was Miami.
Tua. Yeah, Tua torched them, man.
Yeah. So I mean, it's very possible. I mean, Saints are a pass. They're that passing style. Offense
they are,
too.
yeah. That's what they do. And Taysom Hill. I mean, who you can put? That's what I love about the guy. You put him in tight end. You can put him in running.
Don't even worry about starting that guy.
No. If you could start him at tight end, he to me he doesn't have much value at receiver or quarterback. But if you can start Taysom Hill at tight end and you're desperate, I would, because he's going to fill up some of the stat lines. Because unless you got fucking Travis Kelce, I mean, who's going to get you a guaranteed 15
He only had 36% of the snaps last week, and he only put up 8 points. So I'm like,
yeah, but that's still. But how many tight ends are putting up double-digit points though? I mean, if he puts up, Taysom puts up 10 points. I mean, that's more than probably 70% of the tight ends.
He's only had 3 double-digit games. The rest of them just he had. So his first game for week 1, 15 points.
Go down
week 2, week 2, 0 or 1. He didn't play week 3. 8 points against Minnesota. He had 36 points against Seattle. That's when he was playing QB or whatever. And then following game, 4 points. And then he had 10 points against Arizona, and then 8 points. So I'm like, I wouldn't even worry about him. A
majority of the games he's had at least 8 points though. I know he's had a couple stinkers, but. Yeah, I would say if you're, but that's desperation. Yeah, if you're desperate and it's just a tight end, not a running back, running back, receiver, whatever other kicker, whatever fucking position he plays.
I actually
tight end. Yep.
It's funny because I actually gave one guy some shit for actually playing him as QB that week. I'm like, why in the fuck would you play him as QB? Right. I'm like, dude, that's one of the dumbest things you could ever fucking do.
No, his value is in his feet.
Yep.
Not his throwing. No.
No.
One more game.
Yep, our last game. I'm going to take the Saints in that game.
Yeah, Saints upset.
Oh, yep. Yeah, that's pretty much right. That's the Monday night game.
Week 9.
Yep. Well, we didn't last night it was Philly and Houston, so.
And we saw what happened there. The Houston Texans came back to reality in the second half. They got
right.
Got smacked around.
Yeah,
you can go get some grub.
Yeah, we were talking about some basketball, but
we put the top 5 guys right now in terms of points on the bottom. So whoever's been watching has probably seen that. So it's the usual suspects. I mean, Luka's up there.
Oh yeah.
The Joker's up there.
Yeah.
Halliburton, and he's on my team in our league that we do. I love this Halliburton kid, Tyrese Halliburton.
I think was he
Indiana. The young kid.
I think I got him in a different league.
Yeah, dude, he's going to be like the next next couple of years. He's going to be the superstar on the rise, right there with John Morant and your boy Ball from Charlotte.
Yeah,
I think Ball's up there too. I think he's like top 15.
I had a couple guys trying to trade Melo Ball for me.
Yeah, you're like, yep, no thanks. I'm gonna hold on to Melo.
Yeah,
get rid of him.
Yeah, Melo is. I've been a Melo fan when he came in, when he was actually a rookie too, and I was telling you, I was kind of surprised to see him be a number one draft, like first round pick this year. With even
I think people mocked him because of who his dad and his brothers and shit. But I mean, Melo is the best of the brother. I mean, he's not even close. Like he's the best. And then for Game 6 tomorrow night, World Series. Phillies have kind of pissed this away. They had a 2-1 lead and they've lost the last two. So it's Astros up 3-2. Game 6 tomorrow night. Who you got?
I think Phillies come back and
we need to get. You know what? We're not fans of either of these teams. But I like the Twins. He likes the Blue Jays. But I think you have to. You know what? We need Game 7. We need after Donovan. Okay, Donovan's got the Stros tomorrow night. I think we need a Game 7, Donovan. I think we need a Game 7. I think the Phillies need to win, so we get a Game 7. That's the way to do it. That's the way to determine the champ in my eyes. And I think we're gonna get a great Game 7. I think Bryce comes through tomorrow night. I think he gets a homer. Rest of the boy, I think Phillies win 4-2.
Yeah.
And then maybe we'll be talking about it on Tuesday about Phillies are world champions. Who knows?
Yeah, for sure.
Or Astros. Who knows?
Yeah.
Pitching is too much. Yeah, no. Verlander looked good, man. Verlander looked good in Game 5. And
I mean, I had Verlander in a couple leagues, and fuck, he was just tearing shit up, man. He's great.
Yeah, I'm interested, and you know what? I might be drinking. You know what, Donovan? I might be drinking some Código tequila tomorrow night for the game. And Jamie, sadly, he's got to work. But
unfortunately,
that's life.
Yeah. All right, guys. I think this kind of wraps up this show a little bit. So
I mean, it was kind of here and there, but we'll get a consistent. We know what we like talking about now. I mean, it's going to be a lot of football because I enjoyed that, man, going through those games.
Yeah.
So we
can talk smack.
Yep.
Talk smack about some guys we don't like, so it's.
Yeah, I agree. I love Dusty, man. I think I would love to see. I'll be honest. I'd like to see Bryce get one. So I'm a Bryce Harper fan, but I'm also a Dusty Baker fan. I'd love to see Dusty. I mean, he's been a great manager a long time. So yeah, no, I agree on that. Thanks for listening. And that anybody, Chad, Donovan, fuck boy. Where's he at? Some goner, some boner.
No, he's some goner.
Some goner.
Some goner. All right.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But
we super soaked them.
Hey, we should find some soup.
Yeah, we
super soaker.
Hell yeah, super soaker.
All right, guys, you're done, boy.
Yeah. We boot somebody off the channel. That's what we'll do.
Yeah, you're done, son. Well, Chad, you're always a fan. Is it Z28 or wait? No, I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, who's the guy with the Camaro?
That's Donovan.
Oh, good man.
No, it's Crazy Z. I think it's Crazy Z28. One of those two.
You're Crazy Jay. He's great. Crazy Z28.
Yes. Yeah, we appreciate it, and
you too, man. Thank
you. We always enjoy having a little fun here and there. We love talking sports, and I think that's
if there's some other bit, we'll get into.
Yeah, there we go. That's it is. Yeah, curly Z28.
There we go. Perfect.
Yeah. Do you have curly hair too? Is that why you say curly?
He's got that Jerry curl.
Yeah.
The 80s black band.
That reminds me, I gotta make my pick. I gotta make my pick on the mock draft. But anyways, guys. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
I'm Jamie. That's Eli.
Yes, sir.
We're out of rhythm. This was Friday's whatever edition.
Oh.
Gloves off.
Wrong way. I don't think they go down. There we go. There we go.
Ball of Three Stooges reference.
Or not,
all right, guys. We're up out of here. See you guys later.
Deuces.